Alright guys, welcome back to another episode. Let's just get this one started by a massive thank you from us for
definitely. Big thank you.
Anybody that's subscribed, anybody that watches, but especially you that have taken the time to subscribe. We have officially made that magic 1,000 subscribe mark, and we are now making a very, very little amount of money off YouTube. So we are going to stop right now for about 5 seconds, and if you're watching and you haven't, jump over and hit that subscribe button right now.
Because we know that at least 40% of you that are watching are not subscribed.
So help us out. So anyway, we've, as you know, and if you watched the last few weeks, we have finished the Cape. What a massive trip that was. But yeah, so we'll put a little card up here if you want to go back and watch that series if you haven't already. Go and check it out. But we got absolutely bombarded with questions. Just about everything. So I've got my little book here, don't mind it because there was heaps of them and I can't remember them all, so they're written down. But yeah, so basically we're going to do this episode will be a Cape rundown, and then we're going to let you in on what our plans are going forward now that we're out of the Cape.
Me up, don't you stop, 'cause tonight it's on the line. Show me how you get on down, close my eyes, take me for a ride.
So we are in an area that has a lot of bugs at the moment.
Yeah, bloody flies. We've just done the whole Cape and barely seen a fly up, but anyway,
If
it
you
is
see
what it
us
is.
doing the fly swat, just ignore it.
Yeah, so basically we done the Cape. It took us 4.5 weeks, which is an epic trip. The dust and the check these little fellas out. Go you good things. Yeah, 4.5 weeks if you've done it. You know, 4.5 weeks in the dust and the dirt. It does drain on you a little bit, but yeah, it was amazing. So we stayed at 16 different camp spots along the way. All of them had their own charm, their own beauty. None that we didn't like. So if you're planning on going up, there are lots of options for camping. So we just got all ours off WikiCamp. A lot of them you don't need to book. Some you possibly do, depending on when you're there. But yeah, there's just options. Just check out WikiCamps, and if there's plenty of free camps that we didn't take advantage of either. So
There was one camp that I particularly really wanted to stay at, and that was at Cohen, and I think it's called the Cohen Bend, and there's a few different options there. We were travelling with people, as you saw. We just couldn't fit in there with the four of us.
Yeah, we just had the four of us. It took up too much space. So.
Both times we drove past, it was pretty full too. So.
But yeah, just keep your options open. But yeah, 16 camps, and our favourites were definitely the Lions Den. You haven't really done the Cape if you haven't stopped at the Lions Den. So we stopped there on the way up. We were going to do it on the way back too, but we didn't. This fly is really annoying me. Also, one of our faves was on the way home. We stopped there briefly on the way up, but on the way home we stayed at the front of Fruitbat Falls. It was just us and the PDR basically, and it was bloody amazing.
It is so different. Driving the PDR during the day, you're obviously passing people back and forth. You've got dust clouds everywhere, and it's really hard to appreciate and enjoy it. Sitting there at about probably 3:34 p.m, it goes quiet. You can see the red against the greens.
People had stopped travelling it. It was just a different experience. So if you can and you can get up there, just stop there. Even if you can stop in the afternoon, just something. It was amazing. It's something that'll live with us forever. Actually, that time with just us and the PDR and the dirt and a fire, and yeah, it was stunning.
And spending the day at the waterfalls.
Yeah, and literally 3 or 4k into Fruitbat Falls, and then obviously Elliot and Twin Falls, and we had that pretty much to ourselves. It was just insane. It was an insane day, something that probably most people would never get to experience. But and then we had a impromptu. We had a little battery issues on the van, so we had to find some power. And Maluna Station on the way out to Weipa, we stopped in there, and it just turned out to be the biggest hidden gem.
Yeah, definitely.
just
little plunge pool.
yeah, which is unheard of up on the Cape, having somewhere to wash off the dust. But
little creeks and dams along the back that had croc in it that we didn't get to see, but the kids got to see it.
Yeah, had power, like a camp kitchen with a pool table, and it was just a proper little hidden gem that yeah, we absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Sat down, good fire, cooked some awesome food, had people last with the crew we were travelling with. But yeah, so those were probably our three, and also Weeper, not the actual caravan park, but the area was kind of cool. Up, back right onto the water. But yeah, so for those three, 100% were our fave camps on the way up. Now the highlights for us were my biggest highlight, besides the Lions Den. If we're doing this and it's annoying you, too bad.
I keep on laughing because I can't stop doing this.
We honestly haven't had flies for that long, and now we're just getting bombarded. But yeah, so our highlights for me, with obviously the Lions Den, which is just a must do, but Travatham Falls, which is sort of between the Lions Den and Cooktown. We ended up going back and forward from there like 4 or 5 times.
I think we did end up there about 4 times. The kids absolutely loved it. There was a rope swing there that they could get on the rocks and swing out into the deep water.
Croc free, just hidden oasis, like absolutely amazing. Yeah, the boys just couldn't get enough of it, and we even ended up driving like a long drive to get up there just to go for a swim for a few hours. But yeah, so Travatham Falls was well up there. Obviously touching the sign at the tip of Australia, you travel many thousands of kilometres to get up there, so that was obviously something that is going to be with us forever.
I love the little road the road houses, like just the history behind them, and going in and exploring and reading them.
Yeah, like your Archer Rivers and your
Maluna Station, Archer River, Musgrove.
Yeah, all
Musgrave.
Just Han River, all your roadside, all your road houses and your stations. Yeah. They're all top notch. Good food, good accommodation. But yeah, and yeah, definitely recommend giving them even stopping in for a look. They've just while we're on it, they've all pretty much got petrol.
Yeah.
And when we done it, every one of them had petrol, so we didn't get anywhere besides the Jardine River. Nowhere didn't have petrol, so that was pretty bloody handy.
And there wasn't too much gap between the last roadhouse stop for petrol and crossing the Jardine and over to Bamaga and Seasha.
Yeah, so you go from Bramwell Station to Bamaga is about maybe 2 hours ish. Like it's not ridiculous. So yeah, the chances of someone not having one and you're running out of petrol, if you run on the plan that most people do, and just stop everywhere and get fuel, you should be pretty good. But yeah, other highlights: fish and chips at Loyalty Beach. Yeah, something that everyone talks about, something you got to do. But yeah, it was cool.
And very old school with the wrapping it in the paper and individually, and it was just like a good experience. Yeah, good.
Like we managed to get a spot right on the edge of the sand, looking over the water. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And we got there nice and early. Hot tip: if you're going to do the fish and chips at Loyalty, get there early. I think it opens at
5:30 or something. Yeah.
The bar opens at 4:30 ish. Get there at 4:30 because when they let you order your food, they let you when you order a drink, they let you order your food at the same time if you're there a little bit early, because by 6 o'clock the lineup was about 60 people deep. So bit of a hot tip, get in there early.
That was on a Sunday arvo though.
Yeah, and as we touched on before, Weeper was, I really especially enjoyed Weeper. Didn't catch any, but there were plenty of good fish around and lots of crocs, like big crocs. So it took us, that was where we saw our first croc, and we saw a heap of them. And
just exploring the area.
Yeah, nice area. The drives out to Red Beach and whatnot it was cool. It was just a nice area. The kids had plenty to do in town, and we went to the pub for a nice feed. They had a Woolies. It was just nice to get into sort of a little bit of civilization for a few days. Roads out there were good, and the roads across to Bremwell Station was awesome. So yeah, we had a good time at Weeper. Highly recommend if you haven't got it and aren't planning to, I'd just take a trip out there. Now the road condition was pretty amazing actually. As you've probably seen, like we're running about 32 psi the whole time. No, yeah, it was fine. We probably could have gone a little bit lower. Some of the guys were running lower, but they didn't have as much weight as we do. But yeah, there was, besides, I don't know, probably 5-10k either side of the Jardine ferry. We had an awesome run. I really cannot complain. We followed the graders a fair bit. But yeah, no, so it was cool. If you want conditions to go to the Cape, I reckon that we probably got about the best of them. So that was pretty sick. And while I was talking about the Jardine too, $192.50 for a car and a van to go over, but that includes your camping permits on the other side and a return ticket. So it's expensive, but it is what it is. If you want to get there, you've got to pay it. So don't whinge about it, just pay it. And then back to the road conditions and our equipment. Besides the battery issues, we had no real issues with anything. The microwave.
We had two things. So we have a Dometic fridge, and the clips on the freezer side just rattled off. We kept on clipping it back on, and the front of the fridge slid off. So that was an easy fix. And as Daniel just said, the microwave.
The brackets, which no idea how, they are like super heavy duty brackets.
Yeah.
They somehow, just from the rattling, have sheared in a couple of places. So the microwave leant back a little bit, didn't fall out. It was never going to fall out. But we had that. But yeah, we'll get it fixed once we get back to somewhere, because fixing that kind of stuff is near on impossible up the Cape. So
and when we did say in one of our videos, we did have a little bit of silicone under the van come loose, and so therefore, you know, it left a little bit of a gap underneath the lounge, and the red dust did get in. Tiny little bit. But we just re-siliconed it up. Literally took
10 seconds.
Cleaned up the red dust, and no more red dust. So.
But yeah, so everything went absolutely amazing. So if you're concerned about taking a van to the Cape, probably don't. If it's a solid sort of a van, anyway, like we used to have an old 86 Windsor, that I wouldn't try to drag it up there, but
probably would have rattled to death.
Yeah, if your van's in pretty good nick, drive to the conditions, lower your tyres down, take it slow if you need to, and all should be pretty sweet. But yeah, overall, like we said, probably the best 4.5 weeks we've had so far. It was bloody amazing. Best travel crew to travel with. The guys that we went up there with were bloody top-notch people.
Definitely made friends for life.
Yeah, life friends made out of that. But yeah, so anyway, if you haven't, jump over and check out the whole series, and then just sort of know what we're banging on about. But now, we've also been smashed on the socials and stuff, just asking what our plans are going forward now that we're out of the Cape. We really don't have much of an idea, which is pretty standard. If you've followed it for a while now, you would know that we make no plans whatsoever.
Yeah, we don't book, we don't really make plans, we don't know where we're going tomorrow. So.
No, we generally wake up in the morning and decide where we're off to, so which is how we like to travel. So as far as we have a general idea, there is one big thing we're really looking forward to, and that is the fact that we are getting a new van built. We are slowly going to be heading back to Melbourne to sort out the new van.
I'm not looking forward to the cold.
No, not looking forward to that at all, but yeah, so that is massive. So our van, which I'll put a little thing up here, the 22-foot Yonder G-Shock is up for sale.
No expense spared on this van. We have it's top range, it's got all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, cruise master, airbag, suspension, disc brakes, really 600 amps of battery, 700 watts of solar, plus Anderson plugs. This thing's tried, tested, ready to go. Off-grid, go anywhere you want and do anything with it you want to do. So
it's not yet 12 months old.
Yeah,
it is immaculate still. I mean, we use it, as you see in our videos, we take it off-road. It's amazing, it's beautiful, and
we have, since we got out of the cave, we have had that battery issue to fix too. So they are now working. The whole system's doing what it should. So yeah, if you're interested, drop us in the comments and we'll get back to you. But yeah, it is for sale right now. So get on board that. If you know anyone that might be interested, get them to get in contact with us. You can get us across all our socials too, Facebook, Insta, Tripping to the Max on all of them. So yeah, if you're interested in our van, hit us up. But yeah, so the plan, we're definitely doing the Daintree area and North Queensland. We want to explore that for a bit.
Yeah.
So there'll be some pretty cool footage coming out of that, I would imagine. We might even do a sneaky little dive out of the day out on the reef.
Yeah, we've been thinking about spoiling the kids and going for a snorkel. So
we generally don't spend a lot of money on big ticket items just because the budget is budget. But we might spoil the kids and take them out, so keep an eye out for that one in the future. We might do a sneaky out to the reef.
And I know in the Daintree there's like a pretty cool croc tour, and you can do the upper and the lower Daintree River, so we'll have a look at that. I think
been tipped off about that. Apparently it's really good value, so we'll suss that out. But
bugs.
then I think we're going to do a bit of inland. We'll do a bit of free camping. I think I reckon there's a few like inland once you sort of get to Townsville, you can head in. There's a few good free camps and stuff, so we might just smash some free camping out, give you a few good spots to pick up on there. Then we got some of our new travel fam, Paul and Dan. They're living in Monrepos at the moment. They're managing the caravan park down there, so
we might drop in and say hello.
Yeah,
Seems
we'll stop
like
in
we're
and say
heading
to
south.
them and do sort of that area. And then we got fam to visit, and then on to Melbourne. We've got a few things in the works with Yonder and a couple of people, but other than that, we don't really.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be filming too much. Like, we'll be shooting down from Brisbane area down to Melbourne quite quickly, so you may not see much of that area.
Yeah, well,
it's pretty boring just showing you
But
driving.
we'll have stacks of content
to keep
you going. So if you don't see any of that, we haven't forgotten. We don't want to put out second-rate content for you guys. We want it to be top-notch. So, and then once we get the van, we are heading west.
Yeah.
Apparently the roads over there are paved with gold or something, so we're going to go and do a bit of driving around there. But we'll do South Australia over summer, and then Western Australia will be in WA for quite a while. But
get off the East Coast, because yes, if you have been following, we have just done the East Coast in nearly 12 months.
We haven't really gone. We've done Tassie and pretty much the whole East Coast. Which was not how we originally planned it, but like we said, our plans change every day. Planning 12 months ahead was probably a little bit cheeky of us, because we would have had no idea. But anyway, so this one is just a quick one. Basically just to let you know what's coming up, give you a little Cape rundown that everyone's been hitting us up about, and letting us know what's coming up in the future. If you've got any questions or want to know anything else, drop them down in the comments and we will 100% let you know. We are an open book. We got nothing to hide. We don't care. Ask us anything and we'll tell you pretty much every answer. Yeah. And unless you ask me my butt size, and then I'm not telling you that. But I think that's it, eh? We'll get out of here and we'll catch up with you next week. Back to normal travel content next week.